Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Machan La'ira online smicha. As the Yontif of Sukkot is coming to an end, coming to a close, and we are in Hoshainah. This is one of the last meals that we eat in the Sukkah. And we're going to share with you some thoughts and perhaps some halachic insights that we can leave with and have some lesson, some koyach, chizuk for the future days. We know that in Shulchan Aruch it says the Hoshainah is very special because it's the siyum and the chosim from the Yemei Hadin of Mayim, and that's why Yamarbe B'Tachnunim, as it says in Shulchan Aruch and Hoshainah, because it's the end of the Yemei Hadin for Mayim, and the world needs water, and it's an essential item. And Hakohelich Acher Achitum. It's actually brought somewhere, and you know that the Sfas Emes says that Hoshainah Rabbah is actually the Gemar and the Siyum and the Chaisim from Yom HaKippurim, and mekubal by many Chassidim that you say you wish each other a good fittel, a good signature, a good settle, a good final resolution on everything that we try to accomplish during Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. Now it's interesting. Just today's Shir Rambam dawned on me that when today's Shir Rambam is Hilchis Shofar Sukkah Lulav Perek Aleph, so it's interesting that the Rambam connects Shofar, Sukkah, and Lulav as one heading. It's one big achievement that you're trying to accomplish from the beginning till the end. Now, I was thinking about this because we know the famous story of the Barditchever, that the first day of Sukkot, they say he couldn't sleep because he couldn't wait for the time of when he'll be able to get up in the morning, or morning will come, and he'll be able to be mekayim the mitzvah of lulav and esrog. So if he was so excited about fulfilling the mitzvah of lulav and esrog, what would the Barditchever say at the end of the yontif, and the yontif is about to leave? There's a very famous word that's brought in the Rishimis that one of the Lubavitcher Rebbitzins said by uns. The saying is, okay, we've passed through a yontif. We've finished the yontif. She didn't like it. She says by uns, by us we say Nocha yontif hatzugukumen. We learned some more lessons from this yontif. We got some more koyach and some more chizuk. So the question is, what would the Barditchever or anybody on that level, or what should we do? What are we looking to accomplish at the end of yontif? With what do we go with? And it's interesting to note that it's a minig by many chassidim that you go towards the end of the time when you could eat in the sukkah. Towards the end, you go gezegnen zich from sukkah. You go say goodbye, or you greet each other one last more time. And it's interesting that I don't know why is this something specifically only by the mitzvah of sukkah that we do so. We don't find by any other yontif that you do the same to the Pesach, to Shavuos. On the contrary, in Pesach, the Rebbe writes in the Agod that our minig is not to say Chasal Siddur Pesach, because we don't finish with Pesach. What Pesach teaches us, we take it for then on. It gives us chizuk for then on. And suddenly over here, there's a minig to say goodbye to the sukkah. So somebody gave me an answer. He says the difference between Pesach and Shavuos versus Sukkot is the mitzvahs in Pesach and Shavuos are more ruchniistic mitzvahs, so those lessons stay with you forever and ever, whereas you're saying goodbye to the physical walls of the sukkah. The sukkah in general, according to Chassidus, is an inyan of makif. It just surrounds the person. And maybe what it means to say goodbye, gezegnen zich, is not bye-bye, it's over, it's done. It's similar to what the Chazal say, that al yipater other mechavere ela mitoich dvar halacha. When a person leaves his friend, you just don't go away and say goodbye. We're done. You say a dvar halacha because shemitoich kach zeichreu. Like this, the connection keeps on being stronger. He'll remember him. Maybe the same thing is the gezegn zich in the sukkah is not okay. It was a good time. We enjoyed ourselves and we got uplifted and enough. Rather, no, it's one last time to review or to make sure that all the koiches makifim that we got in the sukkahs lasts with us forever and ever, similar to the mitzvah of Leviah, where it says if you have a guest in your home, it's not enough that you feed him nicely, properly, but you also have to greet him to the door. And it says if you don't greet him to the door, it's as if you're shofech dam. And the reason is that if you don't greet him to the door, it shows he's not important to you. But if you greet him to the door, that leaves the person, the guest, with a feeling of wow, like he's a decent human being. He's an honorable person. Maybe that's the same thing with the sukkahs. You greet each other goodbye, showing that how much we honor the sukkah and how much the sukkah honors us, and it's a combination that we have to learn from each other. Now today is Hoshaina Rabbah. I want to talk about some interesting things that you can learn from Hoshaina Rabbah. We find actually two opposite thoughts about what we do on the Hoshaina Rabbah. We know that the minig is that we bind together 5 aravos, and at the end of the tefillas we knock it on the floor 5 times, and we say a yiratzin, and many people have the minig that they put the aravos on top of the Aron Kodesh in the holy place. Now this minig is a fascinating minig, because this is a minig in the time of the Gemara, in the time of the Beis Hamikdash. It all started that this is something that was done every single day in the Beis Hamikdash, but it wasn't done only a Hoshaina Rabbah, and it wasn't done the way we do it. In the Beis Hamikdash, every day you would bring one arava, one big arava, and put it right near the mizbeach. That's how it is. Every day you bring one big tall arava and put it by the mizbeach. Today's days, we don't have the Beis Hamikdash, obviously, so the Nevi'im, Chagai, Zechariah, Malachi, they as a commemorance in a certain way, they made them their own custom. Again, they made it for themselves. They said, okay, we don't have the Beis Hamikdash, so let's do something similar to this. So they started this whole custom of the aravos on Hoshaina Rabbah, not like it was in the Beis Hamikdash 7 days. They did it only on the 7th day, and they didn't put it anywhere as it's done in the Beis Hamikdash. They did a different whole system. What's fascinating about this halacha, this minig, is because it was minig that they did it for themselves. They never taught it as one of the mitzvahs d'Rabbanon, or said everybody should do so. They did it for themselves, and people started copying them, and that gives a clarification why we don't make a bracha when we do the Hoshainus, because it's not something that they established for everybody to do. We saw what the Nevi'im did, what the Tzaddikim did, and we copy them. So we can't say Ashikidshanu b'mitzvos of Vitzivonu, because there was no Vitzivonu that it should be done. Now, why Taka? So as I mentioned before, the minig is to take the aravos only on the 7th day, not like it was in the Beis Hamikdash, and hit it on the ground. There's actually different minhagim. Is it on the ground or on a keli? Some say it's disrespectful to hit on the ground, but that's the common practice. Is we hit it on the ground, and then at the end we put it on top of our Aron Kodesh. Many people do so. Now, why do they actually want we should take aravos on this day? I mean, if we don't have the Beis Hamikdash the way it's supposed to be, why do they institute this? So in some Svarim it says because it's still the siyum v'chosim of the Yom Adin of Mayim. So to remind us to daven for water, you bring aravos to the shul Hoshaina Rabbah, because aravos grows by the water. So that's a reminder to daven properly on Hoshaina Rabbah. In Bnei Yisascha Maimer Yud Beis Ois Dalid, he says that again it's the Gemara Yemei Adin. So we specifically bring the arava is to show Eibishter we are like the aravas. We identify, we know who we really are. We are like a arava she'ein beitam ve'ein beireach. But please, we still want to be connected, and we still want to do what's right. And that's why we identify this way during the Gemara Yemei Adin, just to make sure that we get signed and sealed properly. As mentioned before, that the aravos in the Beis Hamikdash was, besides the Dalit Minim, you had a arava that you brought around the Mizbeach. Today's days we don't do that. We only have the aravos on Hoshaina Rabbah. Now, The arava symbolizes the person that's ein by tam ve'ein by reach. So there's a famous word from the Tzanz Kleisenberger Rebbe. He said, why is it that the arava, after you do the hoshainus with it, many people have a custom to put it even on top of the Aron Kodesh? And he says, because after he went through a beating, a person who goes through challenges, and he goes through a beating, then a person like that is able to rise to such heights that he can be on top of the Aron Kodesh. Well, others look at it a little different. Others say, and why do we even beat the arava? Because as long as the arava identifies himself properly as ein beitam ve'ein bereach, and therefore he's hush-hush, he bundles together with the esrig, with the lulav, with the hadassim. As long as he's one, perfect. That's a great mitzvah. When the arava singles himself out as a person just like the hadassim and the aravas, and he says, I'm also important, he deserves a beating. So there are two ways to look at this. Is the arava the arava is showing a level of arrogance that I'm just as good as everybody else, or once he deserves the beating, he gets the beating, he rises himself to the level where he can be on top of the Aron Kodesh. So in the Shem of Shmuel, Hishara Rabba Tofresh Ayin Aleph, he says, you're right. It's only because this arava was there for so many days, tied together with the hadassim, with the tzaddikim, with the esrog and the lulav, then after being there for 7 days, he became so influenced and so connected that he's able to move himself out and still have a metzias. And all this is hidden in the minig of banging the aravas and the hoshainah rabbah. Again, there's so many minhagim in each to his own custom. How many aravas do you bang? How many times do you bang? How do you tie the aravas? But the interesting part is that this was never a minig that was established for everybody to do. This was a minig that the Nevi'im did for himself, sort of Zeichel and Mikdash, and the Bnei Yisrael just copied it, and it became a beautiful custom.